This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0.
Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we are bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir, how you doing? It was a bit of a snoozer in Cologne against Copenhagen, but United march on into the semifinals of the, very esteemed Europa League Cup that we cannot wait to take home as our first piece of silverware. How you feeling?
Snoozer, I saw two titans of Europe back and forth, sir. Extra time, a thriller. Penalty does the job. Bruno Fernandes, automatic from the spot. This one is going to go down instant classic for me. Manchester United beats Copenhagen, sir.
I'll tell you what. Don't watch
the semis.
The highlights don't do it justice. You basically got to watch the whole thing, all 120 minutes of it, in order to get what you need. No, I mean, it started off kind of slow. United looked much better in the second half in an extra time. You get the win. It's not vintage. You went out with a pretty strong team. Copenhagen didn't look like minnows. They had some fighting in them. Saw former United youngster Varela, Uruguayan, mean mugging. Good to see him. So, hey, it is what it is. Moving on to the next round. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I think you got to win ugly. You got to win well, sir. This is one of those ones where it's a scrappy game. Copenhagen were stingy, well organized. Couldn't break them down. Fred, I mean, I don't know what Fred's doing in that team. Matic, we looked much better with Matic on the ball. Such a cool head. Again, I don't know if Ole got the lineup exactly right. Maybe he was looking past Copenhagen a little bit. I thought it should have been what we saw, the team that finished out the English Premier League season. So,
I kind of get what he was trying to do. I think maybe he was trying to save his veteran, his 31-year-old Matic, his beast, for, the squeaky bum time of semis, finals. Ended up that you needed him, brought him on in the 70th minute. I thought that I would have brought him on at halftime because he was a difference maker. Mata was a difference maker. He came on and actually changed a lot of the game. So I was happy with his 11. I just think we came out slow, and that was a team that we could have easily turned the screws against. And we just looked a lot of sorts, looked a little rusty almost. Like we've kind of allowed 2 weeks since that fast end to the Premier League season kind of slow us down a little bit. Looked a little out of sorts.
I mean, it's to be expected. Like the mental side of football is usually underestimated, but you talk to the players, it's like what it took to get top four. I mean, it probably took almost everything in the tank, right? Then they had like barely a week off. They come back. They're probably overlooking Copenhagen, right? If you're really honest with yourself. Obviously, Copenhagen wanted more out of the blocks, but it was a well-fought match, and I thought at the end of the day we were the better side. Like you said, we created the better chances, and we got the win. A lot of people whinging, Chelsea fans texting us, it's not a pen. Manchester United bailed out. I mean, it's all right. We'll take it on to the next one, sir. You got to take it.
You got to take it, and like you said, maybe the United team, they didn't go into it thinking that like this is some massive matchup for them. I think they might have underestimated Copenhagen a little bit. I don't think we did with 11. That 11 should be able to dispel Copenhagen team, no problem. But ultimately, we got the result. We got warmed up. We're making it through. Clean sheet. Brandon Williams put in a game. I think it did show that like we do have some decent options defensively on the left and right back, but I think we need some more attacking threat. Without Shaw bombing forward, we didn't have a lot of width in this game. And it was all kind of played through the middle, and that really played into Copenhagen's hands. I think you saw that today. But either way, it's like when someone's not having a good day, when Rashford's not having a good day, then all of a sudden Martial goes like beast mode for the last 40 minutes and just looked like a Terminator. Insane. Never seen anything like it.
Well, also shout out to, I think, Johansson, the keeper for FC Copenhagen. This game would have been done a little earlier if he didn't make some spectacular saves. So, again, we could be talking about if Johansson wasn't so good, this might have been like that 3-0, 4-0 we were thinking about, although we did start late. So before we jump into the real proper match recap, let's quick PSA for the podcast, sir. We have an end-of-season survey. We really appreciate the feedback. If you believe it, we're trying to get better every year, every podcast, sir. We're just two fans sitting on the couch, actually this time doing a remote, trying to get as many pods out as possible. And we really appreciate the feedback from you guys because, again, we're trying to get better. This podcast is for fans, by fans. There are no ads, no special interests, just ourselves talking smack about Eddie Woodward, and we're going to get to that a lot later. What a Muppet, sir.
We got some punches to throw when it comes to Eddie and Matt, Jughead, Judge. I can't believe what a crew they have running transfers ins and out this club. But anyway, we're talking about the end of the season survey. Check it out. Please give us your feedback. We've already gotten some excellent feedback. I mean, I'm looking forward to when we actually break down the feedback on the pod because you guys are amazing. And it's gotten better every year, just like hopefully we have and you guys have as well. So we appreciate everyone stepping up. Like you said, drop a review. It's a great way to help us get found because we don't use ads, but we need to drive growth through iTunes. So we appreciate anyone that can write a review. If you do, send us a screenshot of it to americanreddevils@gmail.com, and we will hook you up with a sticker if you send us your address. What else we got, sir?
Check out the website, the blog. Alex is doing a great job there. We have some merch. You click on store. Subscribe on YouTube. I think that is the PSA, sir. Quite a bit in there, but it is the end of the year. We got that survey, and we forgot to mention we're giving away a free Manchester United jersey, 2021 player of your choice. So, I think about 170 people so far. So you got a good chance, sir. You're saying there's a chance. Free jersey.
I'm bullish, sir. I'm bullish. I'm rocking the soundboard tonight. It could get a little dangerous. So,
I worry about Alex on the soundboard. Jumping in, Manchester United 1 FC Copenhagen 0 at the Rhine Energy Stadion, Cologne, Germany. We're talking about the quarterfinals. Starting 11 for Manchester United. Romero gets the start. I thought Ole might have pipped him for De Gea. Sticks with his cup keeper Williams. Left back Maguire, Bailly, and Wan-Bissaka at right back. The Fred Pogba midfield. What do you mean, Fred? Could he score? Had a peach of a chance. Absolutely muffed it. Flash to the left. Bruno Fernandes at number 10. Greenwood on the right. Martial up top. Total waste of money, sir. Came from France, if you don't know.
Hell of a player. Tony Martial keeps getting better and better. Good lineup. I was excited to see Romero. I think he deserved a start. I'm glad he did. I wasn't sure. Is Lindelof hurt or is he just getting minutes? So I wasn't sure about that one. And then the Fred is kind of the big one that shout outs to everyone. I think I got it. It made sense. This team should be good enough to beat Copenhagen. Sense. It does.
He's played terrible.
He didn't play great. He didn't play terrific.
He hasn't played well since February, sir. So why does Fred start in this team as a must-win single elimination? Why does he start?
Tell me what you think.
Great. Tell me why. Tell me why you understand it.
I can see why you do it. Just like I can see why you put Jesse Lingard on at the end of the game, and we'll talk about why you do it.
Say you can see why. Then what is?
Because he's trying to play into his confidence. Like the game, it's not a must win. It's a nice to win, right? This is not a must win game because if it was, Matic would have been playing, and he wants to give Fred a chance to get some minutes, right, and get some form up because we're going to need him at some point next season. So I get it. He wants to give him a chance to go out there and put out a job, put out a performance. Didn't exactly do it. Didn't have a great day.
He's more like FA Cup, You're playing.
I'm thinking Carabao Cup.
Playing Tranmere Rovers away.
Yeah.
You put in Fred. That's what I think he's about. That I don't know why he got the start, but he didn't really change my mind. I think I was right about that one.
I think he deserved to be on the bench. I think I would have rather seen McTominay.
No, absolutely. Should we jump into the first half?
Let's do it. I'm going to try and do you honor by try and cover in the play-by-play, sir. So give me a little slack. But in the first half, United come out a little bit sluggish. I think we both admitted that. Copenhagen were pressing high. And speaking of your boy, in the 17th minute, Fred gave the ball away cheaply in a very dangerous place. Turned into a bit of a melee in the box, and United were lucky to survive unscathed. But this was probably the worst thing he did all day.
No, absolutely. And coming out of the game, Copenhagen with intensity, right? Like you said, again, high. Like anyone who watches the video against us, they see where we struggle. It's against the press. They had a lot of intent. I didn't know they could keep it up that long. But credit to Copenhagen, they did play well. Fred, again, in this position, we've seen him give the ball away. We've seen Pogba give the ball away. But again, here, Fred looking like a liability. Absolute circus stuff at the back. Maguire with a great last-ditch challenge. Romero able to, I don't recall if he made a save, but he actually handled it pretty well. So, again, Fred, this is kind of why I don't think he starts, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Matches has given it away, but Fred, a bit nervy here. high press out the back. I don't think Fred's our guy. I think, someone sitting back, we're going to attack. Fred's probably, the type of player in the midfield. So maybe Ole got the tactics wrong. Maybe he thought FCK would sit back.
No, I mean, I think you're right. I think you would assume that anyone that knows how to play against us, it's all about the high press. You got to force us into mistakes and hope to capitalize, get a goal, and then sit back. They look to be doing that. How long could they hold it off? That's a real question. The Danes, to give them credit, showed a lot of heart today and hung in there for a while. United got a little bit better. 21st minute, they were awarded a penalty. It was overturned by VAR because Maguire was offsides, so it was rightly overturned. United a little bit better after the water break. I think it made a huge difference in the 30th minute, much sharper. Rashford floats in a nice ball to Martial, but it's just a little too much, just misses it, but it was a good chance. 44th minute, ball falls to Martial. Another good chance, link up with Rashford, but can't get a shot off. And then, in the 45th minute, what a goal it was. It was scored by our boy Mason Greenwood. Just an unbelievable beauty of a finish. Rocketed it left foot off the bar and in. It was overturned by VAR, unfortunately, but it was a peach of a goal for Mason.
What a finish. I mean, this actually reminds me, it's kind of a mirror opposite, but Dempsey, that goal against Ghana, like impossible angle across the goal line, post and in. Mason Greenwood, unbelievable. I mean, it's a shame this was offsides because this was RVP-esque. I mean, this is just... He's lethal.
I'm thinking more RVP than Clint Dempsey, but hey, what do you know?
Goal. I'm telling you.
I know. It is. That angle, it's a good finish. It's such a shame that it's going to be disallowed because it was pretty and it, deserving of the kind of goals that Mason Greenwood's been scoring at Manchester United.
Yeah, just bending it inside out off the post and in. It's a very pretty thing when you see it.
So anyway, that was the first half. What were you thinking going into halftime? Any subs, any changes? What was Ole saying to the boys?
He comes from Serbia. He'll fucking murder ya. Nemanja. Whoa. Got to get Matic in the game. Somebody has to get a hold of the ball in the middle of the park. Settle the boys down. You put Matic at CDM, settles down the center backs, settles down Pogba. He can go forward, not really worry about the liability Fred. Because Fred isn't a Matic, right? And I thought that was the move to kind of lock it up, control the game more. We did come out. We did improve. We just weren't quick enough in the final third.
I would agree. That was the sub I thought he would make. I don't think he wanted to shoot down Fred's confidence anymore, so he kept him in there for that second half. Like you said, United were better to start the second half, but Copenhagen, they were resolute in defense. Give them that. They were pretty strong for all that United was throwing at them. Oof, like you said, 55th minute, LOL, the shot from Fred. It hits the target. It was a great opportunity, but it wasn't terrific.
Yeah, maybe too many passes there. Fred muffs it completely. That's why the bookies have him plus 3,000 to score.
Sell. There you go. We'll talk about that later. And then in the 57th minute, Rashford scores a rebound from a stinging Greenwood shot, but VAR, once again, on their toes, overturns it for offsides. Again, but this was another correct call, unfortunately.
Yeah, so again, just offsides killing us today. We had a few goals overturned from offside. So you kind of see it was frustrating to watch, but we did have our chances. We did have our opportunities if you really think about it. The margins were really thin, especially when you take into account all the saves the FCK keeper is about to make here.
No, I mean, we started the game slow, but we were much better in the second half, and we'll get into it because United started turning it on. At 59th minute, Bruno dinked a pass to Greenwood, but somehow his touch actually let him down because that's not normal for him. 63rd minute, Bruno slams the inside of the post. United getting closer, just turning the screws, sir. There was a goal to be had.
Yeah, and Bruno starts taking some speculative shots. Love it. I really thought Bruno, he's the heartbeat of this attack. Everything goes through him. He tries a lot of things that don't always come off. Like he made a mare of a pass as well here. But again, it's going to come off, right? He's hitting the bar. He's almost finding Mason. It's starting to open up. And I thought as Copenhagen, they weren't as disciplined as the game went on. And that's kind of when we saw Manchester United's attack really open up and look threatening.
And this was not a vintage United. We were not as sharp as we were at the end of the season or even at the beginning of the restart because I think we would have dispelled of Copenhagen in this regular time match because, right, It kept coming. But they did have a chance. A 66th minute, AWB had a massive block. Copenhagen all of a sudden looked dangerous in the box. It pinged around a bit, but Wan-Bissaka coming up with a massive defensive move. And then 68th minute, United pushing for a goal. Bruno has a great shot, well saved. Finally, 70th minute, double sub. Matic and Lindelof come on for Fred and Bailly. Sir, what do you think about this sub?
Bailly had the yellow, got to get him off. Bailly's got red all over him once he has the yellow card. Fred, have a seat. I don't know why. I hope I don't see him for the remainder of the tournament. That's all I got to say. Maybe when we're up like 3 goals, something like that.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if he'll feature again. Speaking of that goalie, he had a hell of a night. 84th minute, worldy of a save on Martial. This is probably the best save of the night he had. Keeps it 0-0. And then 90th minute +1, Martial makes this insane run through multiple defenders, but somehow the shot is blocked at the last minute. I don't know how this didn't go in, sir. I mean, he would look like he was a man on a mission and he was going to score.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunities for United are just coming thick and fast at this point. It was only a matter of time. I was hoping that we wouldn't or at least we could keep the momentum through extra time. That was my only thing that I was concerned about.
Yeah, and that was what it's all about. So heading in extra time, what's the tactic? Big sub, right? He made a sub right away. Mata on for Greenwood. What were you thinking when you saw this?
I mean, I get it. He's trying to get players who can play in between the lines, break down Copenhagen. I just think you need Mason on. I would think Rashford maybe for Mata would have been in, that's the only critique I could say is I maybe it's because I like Mason too much, but he looks, if you have Mata and you can get the ball to Greenwood in the box, it's done game. Same with Martial. I just don't know if Rashford has that edge in extra time with tired legs. I think of him more on the wing beating a man.
Yeah. Fair enough. Mata was a difference maker, though. I think he had a lot of value in extra time. 92nd minute, great chance for Martial. Keeper comes out again, does a terrific job. And then, in the 94th minute, are you ready? Here we go.
Neatly done by Mata. Martial, defied again by Jonsson. Fantastic footwork by Anthony Martial. Martial again. It's a penalty. Mesmerising by Martial, who was thwarted by Jonsson. But then Juan Mata was able to steer the ball towards Martial. This to put them in front in the quarter-final. It's Fernandez, who scores. Liable and sure-footed.
Bruno, or Portuguese Magnifico. Absolutely love that song, sir. Automatic from the penalty spot. United up. Going on to the semifinals, sir. That's it. That is it. Penalty to Manchester United. Like those words.
You only needed one. You got to be dangerous in order to get penalties. They don't just give them to you. It's not the way this works. Well deserved. Better side. At this point, really, United were just pouring it on. So who else? Who else is it going to be than Bruno Fernandes? I mean, ice in his veins. The keeper guesses. Of course, the keeper guessed the right way. Like, as the keeper, this keeper's also going to save a penalty, but he just like slams it. So there's absolutely no chance.
But he didn't hop. That's like the craziest thing.
He doesn't have to. He knows when to hop, when not to hop. It's ridiculous.
He's playing. You want to talk about 4D chess? Bruno Fernandes to the penalty spot. I mean, he's got the hop. He's got the no hop as a keeper. Just let it go in. Just let it go in. I mean, that's this. To have a penalty taker, a closer. He's like a closer, like Mariano Rivera, sir. Just bring him in, automatic, get the win. It's a results-based game. Lock it down. On to the next one. Still alive to fight another day, win a trophy. That's what it's all about. Hey, this is a hell of a match to break down, but we're alive, baby. That's all that matters.
Live to fight another day. That's what it's all about. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just matters about the result, because all that matters is we got that goal and you're like, we're good. You knew like we were good. Anyway, big goal, 98th minute, another massive save from the keeper, right? United were not done at 1-0. Martial makes an even more impressive run, beating defenders like it was FIFA. This was insane, the 98th minute run. But then he just lets it off to Mata, who actually has a shot saved well. But Martial just showed another level in extra time. He is something else.
Martial, look, 50 million down the drain. I mean, that song says it all. The form he's in, the attitude, him coming on last game, scoring a goal, pointing at Ole. I mean, MVP, player of the year for me for Manchester United.
No doubt. Yeah. No doubt. I think that's an easy one. And he just seems to get better and better. 104th minute, good chance for Mata after another good interplay with Martial. And then 105th minute +3, goalie. Again, this goalie. Who are you? If we needed a goalie, I'd sign this goalie. Comes up with a great save on Bruno. Ball falls to Lindelof, and then he just rockets it off the post. That was the end of the first part of extra time. What a crazy 15 minutes.
Yeah, action-packed 15 minutes. Second period of extra time, not as exciting, sir.
I'll hammer through it quickly. 112th minute, Lingard came off of Rashford. He likes to run. That's what he does. 119th minute, Lingard break on the break. Just Lingard. And then if he somehow gets caught, probably should have passed or done something else, but doesn't do nothing. 120th minute, McTominay comes on for Martial. That's it. That's all she wrote. Game.
There are a lot of nervy Copenhagen set pieces in those two periods of extra time. Like, I think maybe two corners, like a free kick down by the touchline. Maguire had a few good clearances. We held. It was one of those hold. Credit to United for trying to go for the killing goal. That's exactly what we should be doing. And, I would say, look, it's all on the line. You got to execute. 1-0 Manchester United. We're going on. We're moving on. Inter moves on. It's written in the stars. Inter Milan, the greatest troll, Alexis Sanchez. Cue the piano music. Plays Manchester United in the final. Can't wait.
Well, we're going to have to do it the hard way first, and that means either Sevilla or Wolves. Both those teams we have bad blood with. So it doesn't matter. It don't matter. It's going to be the hard way. It's going to be the United way. Match reaction. It looks like it was domination, but actually wasn't this dominant if you think about it. But it was 56%, 44.
The shots on target. I mean, absolutely. We had so many opportunities. We just couldn't finish. I mean, it's tough. Look, the result 1-0 extra time makes United look bad, but if you watch it, it's like unbelievable performance from the goalie, some bad VAR offside calls. And, it should have been 3-4-0, really, if you're thinking about it. I know fans are moaning, but, 14 shots to 0.
I ain't moaning. I'm just saying it's like the result looks a certain way on paper, 1-0. These stats, right, 14 shots on target to their 0. We had 26 shots all day. They had 9, and we had 56% of the ball. But that 1-0, like you said at the end, it did have some nervy moments, right? Some balls that sputtered through, some defensive look like, on roller skates once again. So all that matters is we're moving through. And I think I said this earlier, but thank God we're not relying on this tournament in order to get in Champions League football. Imagine if you were banking on this game today against FC Copenhagen. It was just today. It was so stress-free. It was so stress-free.
How dare you put that thought in my mind?
That's how I approached it.
Because there is a parallel universe where that's the case, and we were just having a heart attack for 120 minutes.
Basically.
Yes.
Yes, as we dread Sunday because it's going to be another nervy one. But instead, it's going to be football on Sunday. We're going to have some semifinals in Europe. I can't wait. Who's referencing stats?
The BBQ, fire up the BBQ. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has now reached 3 semifinals in the same season, a record only equaled by Sir Alex Ferguson. He can't come up empty-handed in all 3, though. That'd be a bad stat.
You got to win one.
Down. Copenhagen's Carl Johan Johansson made 13 saves against Manchester United. No goalkeeper has ever made more in a single Europa League game. And Manchester United kept a clean sheet in 73% of their games in Europe under Solskjaer. The wrong Europe. The highest managerial percentage with 10-plus games at a club in the competition. So we are basically have great defense, sir, and kicking on from there. And Manchester United have been awarded 21 penalties during the 1920 season. People just saying, Barchester United, this was reviewed by VAR. I don't know who's saying that wasn't a penalty on Martial. He pretty much got mugged. He got mugged 6 feet out, ball at his feet. I mean, is that debatable? Is that debatable? It's not a pen.
Where's the haters gonna hate on this soundboard? It's like, let them whinge, sir. Let them whinge. If you watch all of the penalties that we've been awarded this season, there's like 1 or 2 questionable of the 22. It's like 1 or 2 borderline. The rest are just like spot on.
One.
The brutal. That's one of the 2. That's one of the questionable ones. And there's one other one that's like borderline, a little soft, but we got a lot. But we've also been a threatening, dangerous team. We scored a lot of goals, and we get hacked down in the box all the time. Our players are fouled a lot, so keep whinging.
What do we know, sir? Let's check in with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the great presser.
So much to unpick in that game. A couple of goals disallowed, a penalty given, a penalty not given, and a world-class performance from the opposition goalkeeper as well.
Yeah.
How proud are you of your boys for getting through this game and reaching the semi-final?
Of course, it's a third time this season. Or we've been to the semis in every competition we've been in. So delighted that we're through. Of course, I think we deserved to win tonight. As you said, their keeper was fantastic, actually unbelievable. But then we hit the post a few times. There was a couple of VAR offside decisions against us, and it could have been one of those nights that you end up with a penalty shootout, because they created opportunities. Maybe not shots on target. Sergio didn't have to make one save, I think, but we had to block, we had to defend well, and they made it hard for us.
Any complaints about the VAR decisions, especially the penalty not given?
Nah, well, they've made the decisions they have. So there was a couple of tight ones, and but it's when it's subjective like that, it's always we can always discuss.
Yeah, that first half looked very, very difficult. They seem to have this game plan to just sit very deep and frustrate you. Why was it so hard for the team to respond, do you think? And what did you say at half-time?
Well, it's a good team we're playing against, well organised. That's the thing. They had the press, they had a game plan. They had triggers when they jumped and pressed us. Of course, they had a decent chance first half when they caught Fred on the ball. Good recovery by the lads there. I know Ståle really well, and I knew they were going to be hard to break down. So it was about patient, not make mistakes, don't give them opportunities that we don't have to. Let them earn chances, and we knew we get chances. Anthony, Marcus, Bruno, Mason will always create chances. Paul, always in every game.
And there were...
There you go, sir. Ole never sweated a thing. He was never in doubt. Confident man. World at his feet.
Do you ever get much from Ole's pressers?
I'm not sure I want to out of my manager. I want to hear that. That's exactly what I want to hear. Keep it coming, Ole. Sounds good to me.
I think it was they made the decision, and that was the decision.
I love it. Well, what a great non-answer. As someone who really respects the non-answer, Ole's pretty good at it.
No, like you said, based on having trolls as managers in the past with, Jose, I think we're good with Ole, Mr. Nice Guy. Look, you said it. Good presser. Credit to FCK. I think it's right. On to the next one. We made it to 3 semifinals. Let's go win a trophy.
Let's go win a trophy, right? You don't want to have that stat. We made it to 3 semifinals and 1 Bumpka. So let's kick on. We got 2 big games, right? They're 2 finals in themselves. So looking forward to each of them.
So the next 2 quarterfinal games are played tomorrow. That is going to be Wolverhampton versus Sevilla. We are playing the winner of that one, Wolverhampton, Sevilla. Who would you rather play, sir, and why?
I'd probably rather play Sevilla. Because Wolves, I don't know. Wolves are in the Premier League, so I rate them a little higher. Sevilla, nice, clear story. We had some bad blood, 2-3 seasons ago with Jose. So I would love to just knock them out, move on, play in and knock them out, lift the trophy. There you go. Sounds good to me. Wolves, it's like they got a lot of talent. They got a lot of good players. They got a very good manager, and I don't like it.
I want Wolves. I want Wolves to get the English semifinal. I love when England teams go head-to-head in Europe. Just has a certain feel. I think Wolves, they're up there, sir, in the EPL. They've pipped us a few times. We've pipped them. I'd love to beat them on a European night. I think that'd be great. It'd be cementing United's place, give the lads a lot of confidence. I think we can get up for that game as well. Sevilla, a little more of an unknown. Tricky Spaniards.
Cheeky. It's going to be a cheeky. There'll be different matches. It's going to be real cheeky.
because Wolves are like a known quantity. You watch Sevilla, like I don't know anything about them. Then all of a sudden you're playing and you're like, who's that guy over there on the right? Like, like I don't know this guy. Like Wolves, you kind of know. So and also like from a scouting perspective, we have played them well this season. So I think it'd be big game, big match Sunday, August 16th, noon Pacific kickoff. Whoever it is, we're gonna be up for it, sir. Finally, a weekend match. These Monday, Friday games, we're trying to do the best with the pods because obviously we have to do it virtual, but crazy schedule having it midday Monday, trying to work and watch and do everything.
Yeah, according to the Manchester United website, it's on Sunday. So I was just hoping for that. That's all I care about. I want to be able to watch this game on a weekend. Right now, as of all we know, it's getting played on Sunday.
I'm looking at the graphic that we just pasted in here. It says August 17th, Manchester United are playing.
Well, you're trying to say the Man United's website is incorrect.
Sure. I mean, you're the one who said it was on the Sunday, so I will. If I look on Google, it says the 16th, so 16th at noon. But for some reason, the UEFA graphic could be wrong.
So we could be wrong. So we're hedging that on the pod live.
Hold on. I'm checking the Manchester United official website.
I was on the official website. That's where I got the date from.
Live, sir.
Where is it?
We'll do it live. Williams, really well. No, Rashford. He can have a go here. Rashford.
Sorry, clicked on the wrong thing on the site. Well, we'll figure it out, sir, before the end of the podcast.
Anywho, either way, we're gonna have a game coming up. It's gonna be against either Sevilla or Wolves, and this is not the pod for that. So we're gonna do a preview on Thursday, and we will have the date confirmed by then as well. So it'll be a full preview pod. Looking forward to it, and hopefully we got more on the next story we're about to talk about, because everybody's favorite part of the show, sir. United in the news.
In the news. That's right. We got some transfer news, sir. Everyone's talking about it. It's almost bigger than the game itself. It is Jadon Sancho. How are you feeling about Jadon Sancho these days? Jadon Sancho is coming to United. Now it's absolutely in shambles.
I'm not as confident as I was a week ago. This feels like Ed Woodward just selling past the close, right? They probably had an agreement, and then news gets out about the payment structure, and then he I feel like this deal was done, and then something's slowing it down, and it's probably Ed Woodward. So that seems to be the biggest risk at the moment. United could bottle it. It could be like all the, Holland, all the players we could go through over and over again, all the players we missed out on. So if we miss out on this one, we are not going to be happy. United fans are not going to be thrilled. Tell me what's the deal. You figure something out.
Sir, I'm Googling while potting, not what you're supposed to do, but on Wikipedia it's confirmed August 16th, Manchester United playing the winners of the semifinals.
Now, so Wikipedia is the confirmation? Wikipedia is the ultimate source of truth?
Yeah, well, sir, I mean, I'm telling you, this screenshot I took for this bracket is from CBS All Access. CBS All Access, they got it wrong. They said we're playing on the 17th. So, what? And another comment: how many goddamn streaming services do I just sign up for to watch Manchester United?
It's
and it's
insane.
just like CBS All Access. So, but then I go to Amazon.com and I search Manchester United, and then like shows me Manchester United books. I can't figure out how to watch the goddamn match. This is like, it's unbelievable. Put it on cable. What is the problem with putting Manchester United on cable TV? Why do we need 9 different streaming services? This is the plight of the American fan. It's absolutely a nightmare. You got to remember which one for what tournament. I'm over it.
Preach. What's going on with Sancho?
You don't have the same. Was it that easy to figure out CBS All
No,
Access?
it was terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. It should be it should be a tone topic. It's literally, been CBS, ESPN Plus. What was the other one? I don't even remember them all. Didn't BR Live? We had to BR Live for a while. It's like they're all terrible.
No, so I'm blaming CBS All Access for us questioning the date, but it is the 16th Sunday. That's going to be awesome. We watched it in person. We'll get you a preview pod Thursday and another match recap Sunday. All right, sir. Now we can do Sancho. Wow. Tons of things going on with Jadon Sancho. I don't think I've ever followed a transfer that had more muppetry involved than Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. Clearly, we made Champions League. We got the cash for Eddie. You're going to go do the deal, Eddie. Eddie goes to do the deal. Then all of a sudden it comes out, United are balking at the price. They start putting out, like we discussed in the last pod, can't do 120 million. Yada, yada, yada. So all that whole like poker in the press is going on. Eddie's putting out his minions, Neil Ashton telling everyone what to say. Oh, COVID, we can't afford it, etc. Sancho spotted in England. This was big. Jadon Sancho, preseason Switzerland, Dortmund. Today, he's in England yesterday. Everyone's like, wait, he's at a house party with the rappers Krept and Conan. By the way, Googled them, listened to their music.
Any good?
You know, I'm not big in the UK rap. I like rap here, but I like, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. You should check it out. Krept and Kone's partying with them. Red Solo Cup, whole deal. Everyone thinks Sancho's getting paid, going to Manchester. That's the only reason why he's there. He's not on the plane to Switzerland. So that was the one thing I saw where I was like, wow, this could be happening. Sancho is in England. I thought he would be in Germany. Then fast forward a few hours, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, preseason was filmed. He's doing a cash gesture, hold up his hands to the Nemanja Matic, saying the word cash, but he's got a weird grin. So I took it as in like, we're not signing him because we don't have the cash. Now, also remember, this is August 9th. Dortmund says they want the deal done by the 10th. The 10th was the drop dead date, which is today. Because today is the start of preseason for Dortmund. So all this stuff going on yesterday, and I'm like, Sancho ain't getting on that plane because he's in England partying with these rappers. He's probably just going to hold out. I was hoping he'd do the whole, like, I'm not going to preseason. I want to move to United. My man, Jadon Sancho, push through the deal. I thought it'd be one of those. I thought it was going to be one of those because why else would you be partying with rappers? Fabrizio Romano tweets 15 hours ago, sir. Sancho with the team. That was this morning European time. He joined Borussia Dortmund at preseason, and he said, Dortmund and Manchester United in talks by 2 weeks, still no agreement reached. Personal terms have never been a problem. It's still up to the clubs. But Sancho did make his way to Switzerland. That's a big hit for the deal. That's a big hit for the deal because whether Sancho should stay in England if he wants to force a move, clearly didn't go through that. And then shortly after that, the sporting director of Borussia Dortmund playing hardball here. We plan on having Jadon Sancho on our team this season. Quote, the decision is final. I think that answers all of our questions. End quote. Playing hardball. Sancho's back with them in preseason. Sporting director comes out. He ain't moving. He's with our team. I'll remind you that his deal is through 2023. A lot of fans online aren't aware of that. Dortmund are in no rush to sell Jadon Sancho. They have him for 3 more years. We have no leverage. Deal falling apart as we speak. But I will say the Dembele deal, sporting director Dortmund said something similar. So, sorry, I'm just going to pause there. How you been feeling about this timeline?
You know, I you laid it out really well, John. Thanks for taking us through it because there's been a lot of updates even in the last couple of days, right? The weekend, there's a lot of rumor. I was hearing it all smoke. And then it all comes together on Monday. You know, I don't think there's any arbitrary deadline. This is a £108 million deal, multiple years. I don't think it gets rushed. You know, if it's going to get done, they'll wait an extra couple of days, couple of weeks. Hey, they might wait till October, right? I think that's when the deadline technically goes to. So this is more just like Eddie just bottling it in real time. It's like he's not going to save any money. There's nothing going to change. He just thinks he's going to get a better deal, or he's posturing to make it look like he is getting a better deal. So it's just like it's all kind of part of his smoke and mirrors. So this is either it's happening or it's not.
If Sancho had the whole point is that when you sit down at the poker table, right, you have to assume the cards the other player is holding. Dortmund has 3 years of Jadon Sancho, one of the most highly praised European young talents in world football. And they don't need to sell him. They're in the Champions League. They're a great team. They don't need to sell Jadon Sancho. They can happily keep him for another year. He'll do 30 goals, 15 assists. He'll be worth 150. He'll be worth 200 million.
Seriously.
We have no leverage in this negotiation. And when they say it's 120 million euro or like pound sand, it's 120 million or pound sand. Now, Ed Woodward, he's the one after Dortmund came out. They said, you ain't getting Sancho. He's our player. Now Eddie starts going to the press. He starts the spin zone. They say, Jadon Sancho right here. Manchester United find it very unusual that Borussia Dortmund insists they work through an agent, not through them directly. This has always been the problem with negotiations. And Manchester United are also frustrated at the pace of discussion, reported by Fabrizio Romano. This is coming from the club. Same thing from ESPN. Club bosses, including Ed Woodward and his chief clown, Matt Judge, are becoming increasingly disgruntled at the slow speed of negotiations and Dortmund's demands. I mean, this is just Ed complaining that he can't get a cheap deal. Like you said, he's absolutely bottling it. He has no leverage. They got to pay the money. And we're just looking like fools. And probably not getting this player.
Hear that, sir? Give me another one. I need two, because I hate to say it, it feels like we're going to be disappointed. Maybe we're not, but they gave us a lot to bite off. That we're going to like, this deal's coming, and the only one who's going to get in the way of us and Jadon Sancho is Eddie Woodward, Matt Jughead Judge, and the Glazers. And ultimately it's the Glazers. It's not those other two goons who are just basically working for the Glazers, but they got the cash. They're flush, dude. They got plenty of money. Like, they got plenty of cash. Maybe Manchester United LLC doesn't have plenty of cash on the balance sheet, but though that family has tons of money. And it's all about, like, do they want this team to battle for titles, battle for winning another treble, or does it want it to, like, finish in the top four, pick up some silverware occasionally and beat Arsenal and sell a lot of stuff because we're Manchester United and we'll always have a great brand, but what are their ambitions? And that will be clear this summer, because if you can get Jadon Sancho for £108 million over 3 years, paid over 3 years, which is a great deal, a ridiculous deal, that we wouldn't even be in the opportunity to have if it wasn't for COVID, right? Arguably the price and the way the payments are arranged. This is all down to the Glazers, dude, because they have to pay that money. It's good money. He's a great player. He's 20 years old, and his stats are off the charts. So if we don't get it done, it's down to the greedy owners, and it's simple as that.
Sir, we have some audio from BT Sport. I think we had Paul Scholes, RVP, talking about this transfer. They seem to think it's just bluffing. It does look to me like bluffing. But if I was Dortmund, I think I know I'm holding a straight flush. There's no way that I'm selling Sancho a penny below 120 million euro. You don't need to, right?
They wouldn't. So when Scholes talks,
so it's like, can Eddie pay up? We'll get to that in a second. But check out what Paul Scholes had to say.
Developments today. So let's have a quick look at a quote that came out earlier on, and it kind of moves the story on quite a bit, and this comes from the sporting director, Michael Zorc, and the key things are, we are planning with Sancho, he will play for us next season, the decision is definitive. And then at the bottom he also reveals that they gave him a renewed and improved contract last year until 2023. Right, so guys, it says it there, doesn't it? The decision is definitive, we are planning with Sancho. Do you expect that to be the case? Does this change anything for you three? Owen?
Bluff.
Yeah?
Call him the bluff, yeah. I think he'll be a Man United player in a pretty short time. And obviously,
what's that about then?
Trying to get a bit more money out of it, and that's just the nature of the beast. Obviously they know United are really interested. They're pretty heavy into negotiations, but I'm not sure what Scholes thinks, but I think they're bluffing. They know he's going to leave at that price.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, I think as Owen said, they're just after a little bit more money out of it, aren't they? Look, he's a great player. They talk about 108 million. It's a lot of money to go to.
Is he worth?
I don't know. We don't know, do we? He looks a brilliant player, and I think he'll improve any team in world football. His assists, his goals. The only thing I would say about United, I think they were desperate for Haaland as well, weren't they? They didn't quite go that extra mile to pay the money they wanted for him there. Will they do this with Sancho? I think they will. If Ole desperately wants him, I think they'll get him.
So 2 pundits here not convinced by the statement. Do you make it 3, Robin?
Yeah, by the looks of it, it looks that Dortmund is playing some hardball. And that is how the game is played. Dortmund wants more money. And it depends on Manchester United if they want to go that extra mile or not. And it depends on if they really rate him, if they really think that he can be that big of a hit. Like Scholes said as well, they missed out on Haaland, and I think there was a missed chance, because everyone seen over the last couple of 6 to 8 months what he can do. He's a brilliant player. So is it the case of that they don't want to miss out on the next big thing? And then how far are you willing to go? So that's the tricky question here, and it's just business in the end.
It's just business in the end, and they get it. It's about getting a deal done. They think it's haggling. They think it's made clear, right? People who know what's going on at Manchester United these days know that Ole wants Sancho. Number one man, go get it done. No ifs, ands, or buts. They didn't get it done with Haaland. They didn't get it done with Jude Bellingham. They didn't even get it done with Angel Gomez. But Sancho is the man he wants. Is he going to get it? Is Ole going to get his man?
The number one, if I had to dissect the Muppetry, the number one sort of card that's been turned over in this whole saga is the Ole with the cash symbol. Because I think he was saying to Matic, like, the issue is that we don't have the money. And that's why we can't do the deal. And that seems pretty definitive to me, right? And part of this transfer is, follow the money, right? I revisited the financial model, sir. I've dusted it off. I ran the numbers. The structured Sancho deal that has been discussed is doable, but there's a lot of headwinds that Manchester United is facing, and world football is. I mean, fans are not in seats yet. The gate for Manchester United is huge. That money they need to be able to afford players like Jadon Sancho. Just to refresh you guys, Manchester United's cash balance, they had 90 million at the end of the third quarter on March 31st. They drew down the revolver, so they have 230 million in cash. That sounds like a ton of money. They can easily do the Sancho deal right. The main issue is they're losing that match day revenue. So in the financial model, I said fans come back in September, so they're going to make 25% of their match day revenue starting the new season, and then I'm going to up that to 50% on January 1st, and that's like sort of a base case. I think that's really, I think that's actually a decent assumption. I think it could go worse than that. They have a ton of purchase obligations, about 180 million. So what does that mean for their cash balance? I'm looking at in my model, they hit a cash balance low of 73 million pounds in the fourth quarter of 2021, which is essentially June 30th, 2021. So essentially their cash, the low it gets is 73 million, and then it starts to recover from there. So what does this whole story tell you? All these numbers. It basically tells you Manchester United are in a really tough situation cash-wise until fans are in seats. And as far as when fans are coming back, look, commercial revenue is fine. That's actually gone up, right? We made Champions League. We got that extra 80 million. Who knows what retail is going to be like? I have to imagine they're going to take a hit because people aren't buying their stuff in stores. Still online, you'll see that. But that match day revenue, it's worth a lot to Manchester United. And without that, they can't really be doing these types of deals. United, at 70 million on the balance sheet, if they did Sancho for 70 million, that means they would hit zero in cash. Ed Woodward, if he did that, he's fired, right? So Eddie can't risk it all. Now, what can they do to offset that? They can sell players for 40 to 50 million. You can easily do Sancho if they sell Jesse, Phil Jones, everyone. They raise 30 or 40 that way. They have plenty of money to do it. I think that's possible. But again, we need to sell in order to buy. I think this is all about risk management from Eddie's perspective. 70 million up front is definitely pushing it. United have a lot of levers they can pull on. They can renegotiate their existing purchase obligations. They can lay off staff, and they can grow commercial revenue like sponsoring Maui Jim Stadium, like we said. So there are ways that they could do it, de-risk the cash runway. But for now, the most conservative move for United, because we don't know when fans are going to be in seats, is probably don't do a lot of business. Sign like a 30 million center back, sell some players, re-sign Pogba. Right, you offload Alexis wages, you re-sign Pogba, and then you wait until fans are in seats again to be able to do big deals like this.
The problem is you could miss out on Jadon Sancho, right? His fee could go up. You could miss out. He could go to freaking Real Madrid. Man City could buy him. Man City, like, hey, we could use a $108 million forward. They could use it losing Aguero. A lot of teams would take a Jadon Sancho in normal times. So I think if we don't get the deal done now, I think it's at risk in a major way. I think this is our opportunity.
Yeah, but if you think about that case that I laid out, that fans are in seats for the first game of next year, right? Which I think is...
No, it's a reasonable assumption. That's a very
But if it's worse than that, if the winner hits and cases go up, then it's worse than the scenario I laid out, and they can't do the 70 million up front for Sancho, right? So it's you can't really gamble with a club like Manchester United, and at the end of the day, it comes down to risk management from Ed Woodward's perspective. And so, is he really going to bet on all these unknowns coming down the pike that he can spend this money, or would you rather be conservative during a time of crisis, during a time where Manchester United has a ton of debt on their balance sheet? They really are in a cash crunch. It's not insane, right? But you can't be offloading 108 million pounds, right? So I think the balance sheet's dictating the type of deal Eddie wants to do, and I don't think Dortmund's playing ball. So it's going to be really interesting to see where this thing goes. Part of me says it might get done, but it's going to take a long time. Like, we're going to see a whole lull, like no Sancho deal for a while, or it's done.
Or it's done. I mean, but the thing is, we're kind of forgetting a point that we talked about, months ago, years ago, but we're in this position because the Glazers and Woodward drove this club to the edge as a company, right? They pushed it to the edge, the red line, debt-wise, amount of money they were taking off the books, amount of money they're putting into the club, into the stadium, into everything, top to bottom,
Servicing the debt, right? Servicing the debt
everything.
as well.
Their dividends, they're still getting their fucking dividend this year, no problem, right? It's a pandemic, it's a global recession that's affecting everybody, and they're still going to get their dividend right on schedule, baby. It can be delayed by a day. It won't be off. It'll be around, they won't miss a penny of that 20 million, whatever they're due. So you remember that. At the end of the day, it's because of them. It's because of their greed, and it's because of the incompetence of Ed in the first place that redlined this club, this beautiful club. Even before COVID, bro. This club was on the edge before COVID, and then you throw in a pandemic with no people be able to go to the stands, go to the stadium, go to Old Trafford. There you go. That's why we're here.
Glazers out. Get your green and gold scarves. Protest the ownership, sir. And if I'm looking at the financial case, and I've compared this to the Jeffries case and the Deutsche Bank model, it's actually going to be coming off this fourth quarter will be huge. It's in line with market expectations on how much money they're going to lose over the near term. This isn't a crazy case that I'm coming up with here. And if I'm Ed Woodward and I'm running this team and my job's on the line, I'm not paying a penny more than we sell players for this window. If my job is on the line at Manchester United, we can always buy the big players, but you buy them when you're stacking cash flow like crazy, and they're not. So with the amount of money that we have, 30 million, 40 million net spend, that's really 30 million net spend is where we're at. Maybe. And it's maybe this whole Sancho deal has been him trying to save face.
Maybe.
Some people have been talking about that too, because all the fans want it. I do think Ole wants Sancho, but I think that symbol that Ole made on the sidelines with that cash, we said it here on the American Red Devils. We said it months ago. We've run the numbers. Sancho deal is going to have to be heavily structured. Dortmund's going to be really flexible. And based on what we heard today, they're not. Deals in jeopardy. Hashtag sack Woodward. Hashtag Glazers out. How could this possibly be, sir? We made Champions League. We bailed them out. They got to spend. This team, this club, we're barely beating FCK. We got to be competing for Champions League at the end of the day. It's sad to see. If we have a shit window, everyone knows it's down to these types of numbers. I know this shit sucks, but like you said, they did this a long time ago. They bled this club dry, and we have to demand they invest not only in the stadium, not only in the infrastructure, in the squad, sir. Give Ole what he needs, because Ole, he gave them that top four and might give him a trophy at the end of the day. And if they don't back the manager, that's a crime as far as I'm concerned, and we need to really bump up the protests.
Well, hey, shame on us for acting surprised like they're going to do it. It's like, sir, if this comes as a surprise to you, then you haven't been paying attention to how they run this club since the day they got their tentacles in.
I thought Dortmund would want to do a deal because of COVID, where basically I thought Sancho wants to go. I thought part of the reason they wanted to sell him was Sancho wasn't happy there. If you recall, he didn't play in a few games at the end of the restart there. I thought he really wanted to go. I thought he might force through a deal, and then we could do some structured thing. That might still be possible. Who knows? There's a lot of unknown variables we can't run the math on.
Next piece of news is about someone else with the money. Maybe we're talking about this guy getting a new contract.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to seeing him grow with this team. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer drops Paul Pogba contract hints with Manchester United midfielder in final year of current deal. Sir, This is something to get excited about. We ain't getting Sancho, but we're keeping Paul P.
And you know what? I actually thought to myself, if you could take Jadon Sancho or Paul Pogba new deal where he's happy playing for this team, what would you rather take? And I'd rather take Paul Pogba. So if the worst thing that comes out of this, and you think about it from Eddie, Mr. Hagler Eddie, we'll get into the Sanchez deal in a second. You get rid of the Sanchez wages off the books. You put on some new Pogba wages, replaces those. It's a net cost to Manchester United. Going forward, you sign your man Pogba. It's almost like a new signing. I rate him. I love Paul P. I think he do great things to this club. I think we're in a good spot. We just need some more. We need some more on the right wing, if you will. Sancho!
I mean, Paul, we're all about Paul. We're excited that he wants to be here. He looks like he's playing great, happy football. Excited to be at United, and that's what everybody wanted. Sign the new deal, but you got to be adding Sancho because he wants to come to United. It's a good deal to be had, and I can't believe we're still talking about that, but hey, it's going to be talking about all summer.
Sir, I watched the highlight video. I want Sancho.
He's very good. He's a very good player.
I watched all 17 goals. I watched all 17 assists. I want Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. I was so happy. I thought it was happening. Now I'm upset.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, let's round this news out by just talking about another transfer that you were so happy about. That you, like me, watched all the highlights. Big Mill. Alexis Sanchez in cheeky dig at Man United as he hails Inter's desire to win after a free transfer to San Siro, according to The Sun. So he got a £9 million payoff just to leave. Isn't that an unbelievable thing?
Yeah, so what's funny is this deal was done. The Eddie spin zone. We're saving $60 million by letting them go. You know, all this bullshit. And then it's no, actually, you paid him money to leave. It's like, we're not making any money. We're losing money hand over fist with Sancho. We didn't get paid anything. We had to pay Sanchez money to leave the club. Absolutely, dude. Ed Woodward, disaster class. Sackwood. He's the fact that Glazers employ him and I agree he's done good commercially. But it's you have to look at the football side. You have to look at Sanchez. You have to look at these deals. The buying high, selling low. You got to get rid of this guy. He's bad at his job. Have him sell cup and noodle advertisements and bring in some guy who actually knows how to run a football club. I mean, director of football.
It's just silly. It's just we look at it's just silly because if you wanted to create a valuable asset, which is all these guys care about, is making money, lots and lots of money. I get it, but the way to make the most money is to invest in the product and make it get better and better and more competitive. It's so stupid. It's this could be once again the most valuable sports franchise in the world. It should be. It really should be. It should be heads and shoulders above everybody else, and we should be competing for trebles once again and titles. But it's run by clowns. It's run by a bunch of 4-star clowns. And that's the problem, dude. Is at the end of the day, you got owners that don't really care because they're still making plenty of cash. And you got a guy in charge who's kind of a dope. He's kind of an idiot.
All right. Any more depressing transfer news? That was a slog.
Yeah.
We're going to cover all of them up a tree for you. But I think it's going to be more green and gold till the club is sold, given the way Eddie's stumbling out of the gates. Fan questions jumping into... Thank you for all the banter. Keep it coming on Twitter at @UBosin. Credit to FCK. They played well and hard. The boys look uninterested. Ole must fire them up for the next one. Otherwise, that will be the end of it. Credit to Mata today. Rashford looks off. Cheers, guys. Thanks at @UBosin on Twitter, sir. What do you make of that?
I mean, we talked about it. It wasn't a vintage performance. We started slow. By the end of it, we were peppering him, and that goalie, I'm telling you, if Joe Hart started this game, they would have let up 4 or 5 goals.
At T. Zolski on Twitter, survive in advance, keep finding a way. It wasn't pretty. Martial was fantastic. Amen to that one. Just when we thought Mata was done, comes on and changes the game. Hats off to the Copenhagen goalkeeper. He played a great one. Are you watching, Eddie? Get on that phone, sign up Sancho. Couldn't agree more. At Matt Fox 722. Quote, the more and more I think about it, we are crying out for a CDM and center back. Not too sure 120 million pound right winger is where we should be putting the only money this club has. Interesting take, Matt. What do you make of that one?
I'm not sure we have any money. If we don't get Sancho, then maybe we'll get a center back. Maybe we'll get a CDM. I think you get.
Last week I said, is it really worth paying 120 million just for one right winger when you could arguably get Grealish
Grealish is like
maybe
80. They said they're saying 80 million for Grealish. He's 108.
Play ball. They'll be like 65.
Yeah, but that's still overpaying. Like, I would still rather pay 108 million for a 20-year-old that has like the 4th most goals plus assists in Europe. Take him. He's available. You got to get him, and he wants to join United.
We got to be selling Fred.
I don't care. We don't talk about El Pastor right now. That's not in a tweet. Unless it's in a tweet. Unless it's in a tweet, John. Unless it's in a tweet, then I don't think we can talk about El Pastor.
Let me finish. We're talking about signing a CDM. Fred should be that player, right? He came in today, tried to do Matic's job, failed miserably. I think you sell Fred, you get another CDM. And if Fred's not the guy, I know we got some Fred fans listening. Maybe I'm a little too hard on him, but don't think he's worth the money. Eddie bought him for 55. What do you think? Sell him for 8.5?
I'll tell you what.
Pay someone to take him. How about that, Eddie? That sounds like a good deal.
He's not selling them for 55. I'll tell you that. He's not selling them for more than, we spent 47 up front on Bruno Fernandes. We spent more on Fred up front. So
if you do business with Manchester United in any way, shape, or form, you're just getting money for free.
Keep going. What's the next tweet, sir?
Morgan Schneiderlin, how much we pay for him? What would we sell him for?
I don't think we did. I think we gave him away. Fellaini was a good transfer, honestly. He scored goals, big goals.
No, I'm saying, but we sold him for nothing. At United_glory with 2 Ys. 1, who would you start in the semifinals? Bailly or Lindelof, sir?
Lindelof.
What do you think? Bailly or Lindelof in the semifinals?
Lindelof.
Fred or Matic?
Matic.
And 2, what do you guys think on Pogba's overall influence in the last few games? In my opinion, he affects the game much more when playing forward and taking chances like shooting when there's space. He's not doing that enough.
I think he should be shooting more. I think he should be going into the box more. But I think he's been playing selflessly. And we used to call him out in jogging. He hasn't jogged at all. He was running back today, doing a defensive job. So shout out to Paul Pogba. Work rate has been there. He looks like he wants to play at United. I'm all about it.
At MJ Bods on Twitter, quote, is Ighalo still with us? ? Does not get a look anymore. We did the job, though, and Martial is excellent. Can't wait for the semifinal. It's good to be another tense one. Great pod, as usual, guys. Ighalo FC, nowhere to be seen, and we need goals, right? We need to mix up in games. He did have that effect before Project Restart.
Maybe he hasn't showing the manager what he was showing before the restart because hasn't really been given his chances. Hasn't looked bad, but I don't think he's as sharp as he did look when he went into restart, right? He was being much more effective in link up. But just to be honest, hasn't gotten a lot of minutes. So I don't see who in this front 3 spot he's taken. He's not better than Martial or Rashford or Mason Greenwood at 18. He's not.
He's not. 100%. You heard from Alex. At I Knowed It All on Twitter. We're going to finish with this one, sir. Quote, I know Ed Woodward is a big listener of the pod, so make sure to remind him to open that checkbook. Eddie, pay up, son. Pay up for Jadon Sancho. Roll the dice. Greatest English football. We won it all, sir. How about Sancho would be. I almost think that it's the FIFA part of my brain that wants Sancho on Manchester United and not the reasonable part. I have to think that maybe like a Grealish. I like Grealish.
This is it's like 11th chapter of the pod. We're talking Grealish instead of Sancho. That's the move.
No, but you know what I'm saying. You get a cheaper version of Sancho. You get a defender. Maybe that's more the type of move we have to think about, right? Not do the big money, big deal because cash is tight and COVID. There's a lot of uncertainty around COVID. It seems to be we're asking too much of United.
If that's the case,
their balance sheet, looking at their balance sheet, understanding where they're at, right?
Yeah, if that's the case, I wouldn't go after Grealish. I'd forgo Grealish because Paul Pogba's staying because Grealish is not going to start. I'd sign a Cantwell, and then I would focus on a CDM and a center back, right? And hopefully sign Sancho next year, assuming he hasn't been picked up elsewhere for 150 million pounds.
Okay, I want you to grade this window. We Pogba new deal, and we sign one center back for 30 million.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I got a D. D-, bro. What are you talking about? That's bad.
Don't say I didn't tell you.
It's very possible we do a whole lot of nothing, but I'm going to be very honest. There ain't no grading with curves. We made Champions League. You got to give Ole what he wants. He's the man. Give him what he wants. There's a deal to be done. Stop whinging.
Hey, just like Sir Alex famously said, back your manager. He was just talking about the wrong one. David Moyes, mate. Look, that's been the podcast. It's been real, sir. What a saga. The Sancho news. Doing it live. Tangents. Messing up the kickoff time. We got it all here, American Red Devils. We're just spitting. Doing it live.
Spitting hot fire.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I'm not sure we did mess up the time. It seems to be Sunday from what we can see on the interweb. What does CBS know? Housekeeping part of the pod, like you said, that's a wrap. For fans, by fans, we appreciate everyone that listens in week in, week out. We appreciate everyone that's done the end of the season survey. Please fill that out while it's still there because we really do need it. We appreciate it. We learn a lot from what we hear. We always try to get better every year, every pod, like John mentioned earlier. So appreciate anyone who answers that.
The link's on Twitter. It's pinned on our Twitter page if you're looking for it. Write a review on iTunes. Drop 5 stars, sir. We have some great downloads. Head to the semifinals Europa League. Give us our top 10 cities last 7 days.
Here we go. Number 1, how you doing? Dublin, Ireland. Top of the table. Appreciate you. Park Ales, indeed. Number 2, Dallas, Texas. Number 3, Arlington, Texas. Number 4, Wiley, Texas. What up, Lone Star State? Number 5, Sacramento, California. Number 6, Spring, Texas. Number 7, wow, this is why you had me do the list. Vestin Mayenjar, Iceland. If any...
Sorry, that one. Where in Iceland?
No, we're going to keep going. 8, Gainesville, Virginia. 9, Endicott, New York. And 10... last but not least, Mission, Texas. Thank you for all the downloads. Thank you for all the listens. We appreciate everyone that tunes in, all the Manchester United fans around the world, all the American Red Devils, most importantly. Feeling good. Why not? FC Copenhagen in the books. Let's kick on.
Sir, we're the greatest of English football. We won it all. How good does it feel?
Always at the wheel.